Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard.
Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. And as we say in the business, oops happens. That's right, because we don't like to say shit this early in the program. So oops happens, yes indeed. But we appreciate the fact that our crew is back there doing their jobs. Otherwise, it'd be me, and it'd be much worse than oops. It could be much worse than oops. All right, I'm even an oopsie daisy. Well, good morning, brothers and sisters, and this includes our new members who may be enjoying us for the first time, wherever you may be and wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be, yet there you are. In my office, it is Sunday, December 28th, and 70 degrees, the last Sunday of 2025. Yes, indeed. But on the other side of this wall, the snow, well, there's no snow. It's just cold. 30 degrees with a 4% chance of some kind of precipitation. It's got overcast, kind of gray skies, and a 100% assurance that some insurances will go up several 100%. Numbers, big numbers, the best numbers, the kind of numbers that only an administration that doesn't understand numbers could put up, those kind of numbers. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCM, LIX. People have also called me the racy Reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the minister of mischief, the wicked witness, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the frisky friar, the ass man abbot, the colored cleric, the booty banging brother, the handsy high priest, Father Fistmas, and the wicked I like to watch witness, the holy hoe, the divine dominating dominee, the depraved preacher, the tickle me theologian, the minister of making love, the clergy of cunning conversation while eating pussy, and that nasty N-word. Brothers and sisters, the point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy. If at all. So, brothers and sisters, let us begin, as always, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! That's what I'm talking about. The fucks and the yayas. So, brothers and sisters, please, heed my warning. It is time for our opening prayers, okay? Sponsored by Tantally. If you need an opening, Tantally has your opening needs. If you or someone you know is in need of a prayer by the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, please send your request for a prayer, a healing, or forgiveness, like I'm going to forgive my phone for interrupting me. I thought it knew better than to go boop, 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 boop while I was talking. That's beside the point. That's got to stop that shit right now. Put an end to it. Here we go. Done. There. You won't hear that boop, 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 boop anymore. Those notifications have been turned off because it's too late to email me now. Because I can't check. I'm not going to stop to check the emails. You should have emailed me yesterday. And you should email me at drreverendjellyroll@gmail.com, just like it is right there, scrolling across the bottom. The way it's just scrolling across the bottom right there. See how it's scrolling across the bottom? That's technology, and that's also information. See, you notice that roll has an E on the end. That's right. If you don't put the E on the end, you're not going to get me. You're going to get another Reverend Jelly Roll. Not even me. And who knows if there's another Reverend Jelly Roll? It may just go into the ether. You know, it's like an unanswered prayer. It just sits out there and no one hears it. That's right. So please remember to put an E on the end of a roll, okay? That's right. If you don't want someone else to get your blessings or your request for blessings, do as I say, not as I do. Now, for our disclaimer. While all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. And when I say apply, I mean like to ply. Like it's, you know, you're sitting there and you got to finish your business, to ply. You got to start off with a clean slate, is what I'm saying. Start off with a clean slate. Yes, and that's what the prayers will do. That's what forgiveness does. It gets you a clean slate. Then you can pull your pants up, not smudge the rest of you. Never mind. I don't know where that analogy was going, but yes, indeed. That's where it should go. Please bow your head. Unless you're driving that's right. Let that be a warning. Please bow your head unless you're driving your car, your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes, but not until after Jesus grabs the wheel. Otherwise, calamity ensues, or is it hilarity? Something ensues. Could be another attorney because you hit another car. But if you don't want to be ensued, don't close your eyes until Jesus actually grabs the wheel, and then let Jesus do the driving while we pray. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Lou Cannon. Lou Cannon, one of the great silverbacked, and I'm not talking about gorillas, of American journalism and a longtime resident of Summerland, has died. He was 92. Cannon died of a stroke while in hospice care. And it does not matter where you are. See, that's the beauty of this saying. It doesn't matter where you're living. It's a very simple saying. Life is like golf. The fewer strokes, the better. Okay? Nationally, Cannon is perhaps best known for the 5 books he wrote on Ronald Reagan, from Reagan's days as governor of California to his 2 terms in the White House, only one of which did Reagan remember. I think that book about Reagan's 2nd term was called Reagan, the First Alzheimer's President. Of course, Trump being the 2nd. Lou Cannon spent 26 years as a White House correspondent for the Washington Post. Rest in peace, Lou Cannon. Your postscript will say that you are still with the Post. Can I get a post-mortem? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Vince Zampella. Vince Zampella, video game development figure known for the creation of the hit Call of Duty franchise, has died. He was 55. Vince Zampella died when his 2026 Ferrari 296 GTS veered off the winding road, struck a concrete barrier, and erupted into flames. His cause of death was midlife crisis. That's right. Zampella's passing has sent shockwaves through the gaming community and beyond. As co-founder of Infinity Ward in 2002, he helped launch Call of Duty, the military shooter franchise that would go on to sell hundreds of millions of copies worldwide and become one of the most profitable entertainment properties ever created. After departing Infinity Ward, Zampella and partner Jason West, now I'm not partner in the in the traditional sense. I mean partner like business, not with the scissoring thing. I'm not even sure how that would work with you guys. But anyway, they launched Respawn Entertainment in 2010, where he continued to lead innovations with titles like Titanfall, Titanfall 2, Apex Legends, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Rest in peace, Vince. I guess where the concrete met the road is where the rubber met the road. Can I get I can't live past 55? Or it just says, I can't live past 55. That's it. I'm unalive at 55. Yeah, we'll keep working. I don't know how I meant to say that. It's just text. There's no direction on how to say it. Dear Lord, please bless Sister Helen Sif. Veteran character actor Helen Sif, known for her roles in films such as You Don't Mess with the Zohan, Hail Caesar, and The Karate Kid, has died. She died in the hospital due to complications from surgery following a long illness. She was 88. Long illness is the third leading cause of death for celebrities after undisclosed and loved ones. Sif's first screen credits came in television, beginning with her role as a waitress on CBS's Lou Grant in 1981. She went on to appear in numerous series, including Cagney and Lacey, L.A. Law, Highway to Heaven, Doogie Howser, M.D., Knots Landing, Dragnet, Simon and Simon, as well as appearances in Modern Family, Ellen, Married with Children, Sister, Mad About You, Dharma and Greg, Strong Medicine, My Name is Earl, SWAT, Mom, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Good Trouble, among others. Now, only the pilot aired for Among Others, and so that was not a successful series, but still she was in Among Others. Her film work includes 1976's Rocky, Big Top Pee-wee, Earth Girls Are Easy, City Slickers 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold, and most recently as Alice Marks in The Disappearance of Mrs. Wu. On stage, oh my God, on stage, Sif originated the role of Helga in the 1993 off-Broadway comedy Grandma Sylvia's Funeral, and she starred in productions including Lilies of the Field, Lost in Yonkers, and Over the River and Through the Woods. Who is this lady? Oh my God. Okay. I want everyone to close their eyes. Only this time, instead of letting Jesus grab the wheel, I want you to imagine what you think Helen Sif looks like. And is this it? Is this what you think she looks like? That's Helen Sif. Yes, indeed. I just had to show the picture because with all that rolls, you're probably saying, do I know that face? That's that face. I don't often show people's faces, but my God, there was so much face a lot of face to be seen. Let me get that face out of there. Yes, indeed. Rest in peace, Helen. Now that we know what you look like, we know to whom we are saying goodbye. Can I get a highway to heaven? If traffic isn't being blocked by Lou Cannon's fiery Ferrari. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Dear Lord, please bless Sister Betty Reed Soskin. Betty Reed Soskin, a fount of history, who was the National Park Service's oldest ranger when she retired a few years ago, 2022, has died. She was 104. Her cause of death is undisclosed. It is reported that she did pass away peacefully in her sleep with her family nearby. The second leading cause of death. They said that Betty led a full life and was ready to leave. Oh, see? So they smothered her. She became a permanent NPS, National Park Service, employee in 2011, or as the Reverend, or as I would say, 2011, she worked on a Park Service grant to tell yet untold stories of Black Americans who worked in the U.S. during the war, leading to a temporary job with the Park Service when she was 84 years old. Rest in peace, Betty. You were almost as old as the parks that you serviced. Talk about old faithful. Can I get enough Social Security so that I don't have to go back to work at 84? National parks or any place else. Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Chris Ray. Chris Ray, British singer-songwriter, best known for the 1980s festive hit Driving Home for Christmas, has died. He was 74. Now, since we just went through the Christmas holiday season, did anybody hear Driving Home for Christmas by Chris Ray? Anyone? Bueller? He passed away peacefully in a hospital following a short illness, surrounded by his family. See, he had suffered. There's that damn family again. He had suffered from health problems, including pancreatic cancer, and in 2016, he suffered a stroke. That's right. In more recent years, he turned away from pop and released several bluesy records. I guess he was using the same 3 chords, the same progression, just slowed it down a little bit. He came late to the guitar picking up. He started playing guitar at 21 and played in bands before going solo. Ray recorded 25 solo albums, 2 of which, The Road to Hell in 1989 and Auberge, Auberge in 1991, went on to #1 in the country. And then when I say the country, probably the UK. The song he is probably most well known for in the US is Fool If You Think It's Over. Earned Ray a Grammy nomination for Best New Artist in 1979. Rest in peace, Chris. You don't have to think. It's over. That's right. Can I get fooled again? I don't know. Wrong band. I don't know. I didn't write, damn it. Fuck it. I didn't write a, can I get a, I don't know what I think I must have fallen asleep and woke up just in time to do this one. Dear Lord. Good morning, sister. I'm sorry. Good morning, sister Ann. Good morning. Good morning. And good morning, our kickbots. Love you. Love my kickbots. You deliver so much to my life. And good morning, Brother Evil. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Yes. And good morning. Good morning, sunshine. My Lord, have mercy. The congregation is in the house of the Lord. In the house of the Lord. Yes, indeed. Dear Lord, please bless James Ransom. James Ransom, who was known for his roles on the hit TV series The Wire and the blockbuster horror film It, Chapter 2, has died. He was 46. According to the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner, the cause of death was an apparent suicide. That phrase is always, what do they mean, apparent suicide? Either the parent killed him or they didn't. Okay? If your parent killed you, it's not a suicide. It's whatever it is they call it when the parents kill a kid. Abortion. Okay? So it can't be apparent suicide. Never mind. The method and reason for the suicide is yet to be made public. I think I just did make it public. I don't think, never mind. According to an interview, Ransom's passion for performing arts was cultivated when he was a teenager in Baltimore. That's right. My hometown, my own stomping grounds. That's right. Quote, Baltimore breeds a really specific type of weirdo, close quote. He told Interview magazine, quote, Animal Collective is from Baltimore. Dan Deacon, John Waters. There's a through line of weirdness and a hard edge that I see when I meet people from that area, close quote. He's from that area. I don't understand when he meets people from that area. He's from that area. Oh, never mind. I got too much in my mind to try to figure out every single thing that somebody's talking about when they try to talk about shit. Rest in peace, James. Or as they say in Baltimore, see you later, hun. Can I get some crabs? That's a Baltimore reference. I'm not a big crab person. And if you watch my very first comedy, if you watch GD's very first comedy special, you'll know why. You can get through it in 2 years. Dear Lord, please bless Pat Finn. Pat Finn, a veteran sitcom star and improv performer known for his roles in The Middle and Murphy Brown, has died. He was 60. Finn's cause of death was bladder cancer. In 2022, Pat battled cancer. Too many B's. In 2022, Pat battled bladder cancer, went into remission, but the cancer returned and metastasized, just like his career. Disappeared and then metastasized. Finn was also in It's Complicated and Dude, Where's My Car?, which is the bladder cancer of stoner films. If you like that film, I accept your apology. Rest in peace, Pat. Bladder cancer is like Dude, Where's My Car? Not funny. Can I get a pat on the Finn? My Lord. Dear Lord. If you're wondering how many dead people there are this week, you need not wonder. I forgot the number. But let's put it this way. There were dead people who died, and I had to erase them because it was just it was just too much time. It was just like some Japanese golfer died. Celebrity, number one Japanese golfer in the world died. Don't remember his name. And some other person died. Can't remember their name. But there was a lot of dead people this week. Too many. But if you're in the undertaker business, it's been a good week. If you're in the obituary business, it's been a good week. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Perry Bamonte. Perry Bamonte, English guitarist, keyboardist for The Cure from 1990 to 2005, and again from 2022 to 2025, and also an illustrator, has died. He was 65. His cause of death is listed as a short illness, about so tall, as opposed to a shortening illness like clogged arteries caused by too much shortening, like lard from eating biscuits. But he's over there, so I don't know what they put in their food. But anyway, short illness, not shortening illness. Big difference. Bamonte was born in 1960 and began his career with The Cure as part of the band's road crew, serving first as an assistant to frontman Robert Smith, and then serving Robert Smith. Sorry, is that what that says? Bamonte stepped up to fill the position left by outgoing keyboardist Roger O'Donnell in 1990. Rest in peace, Perry. You played with The Cure for years and never once thought to use them for your illness. Good God. Can I get a little irony? Yes, indeed. And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at Mind Dog TV. They are truly, truly doing your work.
Fucking liars!
Okay. maybe they're not truly doing your work, but they are doing something back there to help spread your word throughout the wordosphere. Indeed. If that's what they're doing, as long as we stay live, I don't see it. As long as it doesn't pop up on the screen, it's bad enough it's popping up in my ears. I have to get that. I thought that was wax in there. Now I'm not sure. They could be anywhere today, but they are wishing they were anywhere today. And that ought to count for something. MindDogTV.com, the place to go to get your Church of Last Resort gear, your Coffee with the Dog gear, your Mind Dog TV gear, all of your gears. You can get there. If you're a gearhead, go to MindDogTV.com/merch for all your gear. Now, let us, as always, as we do, now let's have a little bump for the Lord. Yes, indeed. Brought to you by Bump in a Bottle. Straight from our vineyards to your innards. Wine just like Jesus used to make. I tell you, this is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. This is the stuff when Jesus went, bam! This is what he made. Limited edition. Oh. Not only does that hit the spot, I think it hits the spot twice. Once going down, once coming back up. Lord have mercy. So, brothers and sisters, in the name of George Collin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah. Oh, yeah! Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, brothers and sisters, before I go with our segment, Looking for God in All the Wrong Places, I mentioned our flagship program, Coffee with the Dog. You know, in Coffee with the Dog, Monday through Friday, live digital broadcast. Basically, if you have a talent, if you have a product, a book, a movie, a script, a show that you want to promote, and you think Coffee with the Dog is the place to do it, my associate here, Sister Curly Hair So Bright, is going to tell you how to do it.
Comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the
winter and spring
now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
You know, at some point we should update that, because we've had other people just as interesting as those guys on the show. And it almost seems like we've been using the same commercial for a year. And it's possible, or 2 years. But the point is, it works until we get another one. Now, I just want to add this because it was added in the comments. We recently had a Coffee with the Dog. There was a slight issue with the rappers, not the music, just some of the individuals, or one particular individual. Let's put it this way. If you can't follow fucking instructions, don't expect us to be able to follow you, okay? If you put in the wrong information, we're going to get the wrong information. Garbage in, garbage out, all right? If I said to you, follow me on YouTube, and I gave you the link for somebody else, and you clicked on the link, that's not on you. You might go there and go like, this is not the Reverend. Who the fuck is G.D. Fenderson, and why do we care? I'll give you the wrong link. That's on me. Okay? If I want you to follow me, I need to give you the right information. Okay? I don't say promote my show and then give you the wrong club name, and then you go to that club and I'm not there. That's on me. So if you care about what you're doing, do it right. And apparently, unfortunately, a number of rappers, well, I don't know what the number is. It could have been one, but it escalated. Gave us bad information, and then they complained that we had bad information, and then next thing you know, they're trying to tell the Mind Dog how to run his own show. And so I don't know that all rappers are banned, but let's just say for the foreseeable future, no motherfucking rappers are gonna be on the show. That's right. So now, in today's segment of Looking for God in All the Wrong Places, we are talking about the song All These Things That I've Done. Is sung by The Killers in 2004. Now, I'm going to admit something here. I'm going to get this song mixed up with the Verve's song that we did a couple of weeks ago, because there's so many similar things going on, including some of the similar words. And when I hear those words, I think of the Verve. But I'm going to try not to get them mixed up. Although, like I said, they're so similar. It's so similar. So the song All These Things That I've Done by The Killers reflects the struggles of its writer, Brandon Flowers, as he grapples with his faith and personal identity. The song is about 4 minutes long. The song is about atonement for past misdeeds and the need to mature and become a better person. Okay. However, the people who Flowers needs atonement from aren't willing to give it or believe he has the capacity for change. Actually, I don't think he thinks he has the capacity for change. Now, before I get to the first line, okay, this is how the song starts. When there's nowhere else to run, is there room for one more sun? One more sun. If you can hold on, hold on. All right. The first two lines, it gave me a fucking headache. When there's nowhere else to run, is there room for one more sun? It gave me a headache. And now I'm going to share that headache with you. Okay? I'm going to share that headache with you. Okay, I'm hoping that you can see this. There we go. Oh, now I'm hitting. Okay. One more sun. Beautiful. There we go. Now. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. I'm going to need the red marker for this one. All right. This part is pretty self-explanatory. There's nowhere else to run, okay? That's self-explanatory. Basically, you're cornered, okay? You are cornered. That's it. You're cornered. You're trapped. You're like a raccoon in you're treed, okay? That's it. Nowhere else to run. Like a raccoon has been treed right up there, okay? That's self-explanatory, okay? Then there's this. Is there room for one more sun? No. I'm going to forget the word sun for right now. Is there room for one more? I'm going to take that separately, and then I'm going to deal with this word here. That's the one that kicks my ass. that one word, when, okay? Because, like I said, we have already established that there's nowhere else to run. You're like a raccoon stuck in a tree. This is the tree, like that. That's the tree. And this is the raccoon right here. That right there, coon. That's the coon right there up a tree. Nowhere else to run. Now, you can say, is there room for one more son? Like, are you in trouble? You can come up here in the tree with me. You could look at it that way. Is there room for one more? No. But who's he talking to? See, is there room for who is he talking to? Is he asking, look, I'm alone up here. Can somebody join me? I don't know. And then he says, one more son. Okay. Now, some people say that they believe that the son here is Jesus. Okay. Some people believe that. I'm not certain yet. I think it gets clearer as we get into the rest of the song. Okay. It gets a little bit clearer, but not grammatically better. But this, when, okay, because what we're dealing with here is a difference between when, okay, versus where. All right. Now, the reason why I say that is because there's no place else to run is a where, okay? This is where there's no place else to run. This is a where right here, the tree. It's a where. Where, not aware like A-W-A-R-E, because the tree is not really aware. It's a conscious, but it's not aware. But it's a where. Now, when, that's time, okay? That is time. That is a construct. It's like when there's no place else to run. So perhaps if he was in a situation, let's say yesterday, and there was no place left to run, or tomorrow there was no place, he could be in the same tree, but have some place to run. I don't know. This drove me fucking crazy because not only is is missing punctuation, yes, there's punctuation missing, and that can make a difference. Where they put commas, where they put periods. You know, it's like when I was back in the old days when I was studying to be a minister, and we get out a little Hebrew book. You know, we're reading the Old Testament in Hebrew, and there's like lack of punctuation or a lack of vowels, and we're sitting there for hours discussing how something should be said and taken, because you'd have the Hebrew, but with no vowels, and depending on how you broke it up, the meaning would totally change. And this is the same thing here. Where's the punctuation? It makes a difference. So this is why this kicked my ass. Okay. Now, I don't have the original manuscript. I only have the text from online, but every place online I went had the same punctuation problems. So this kicked my ass. I'm not going to lie to you. I was up minutes, maybe many minutes, trying to figure this one out. Okay. So I'm hoping that it becomes clear to us as the song progresses. All right. Now, the line after that, after the one that gave me all this fucking fit, one more son, if you can hold on, hold on. Again, I don't know who he's talking to. I don't know who the you is. Okay. If he's already talking to God, okay, then he's saying, if you can hold on talking to God, then what is he asking God to do? Is he asking God, can you like hold on one more minute? You know, can you hold on before you help me? Or is he saying, get a hold of me, God, grab me, hold on. And if you can hold on, hold on. Okay. Don't know yet. I'm hoping that this is revealed later in the song for the two of us, or for all of us to look at together. Now, because the next line says, I want to stand up, I want to let go. You know, no, you don't. Okay. I want to stand up, I want to let go. You know, no, you don't know. You don't. Okay. Now, those two lines there, it's kind of like, He's saying, okay, all right, I don't have to tell you what he's saying by I want to stand up, I want to let go. Okay. He's in a bad spot. He wants to let go of the things that's holding him there. And he wants to stand up, get out of the mire. Okay, fine. That's, but you don't know. That's the part that I want to talk about, because if he's talking to God, he's saying, look, he says, oh no, you don't know. The reason why he's saying you don't know is because God doesn't know you. He's saying you are God. You can't know what a man or a human is going through. You can't understand it.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can be aware of it. You can say, oh, I see them drowning. But unless you're in the water with me, you don't know. And if you don't get in the water ever, you just don't know. You just see somebody struggling. It's like they say, you walk a mile in my shoes. Okay. So he's saying to God, you don't know. You don't know my struggles. You've never struggled. You've always been God. Okay. And now people say that's why he sent Jesus. Okay. So that he could understand. That's still, okay, here we go. That's the difference between helping and sending help. If I'm on the shore and I see you drowning and you yell, yo, Reverend, I'm drowning. Can you help me? And I say, I don't get in the water. And I look at my son and I go help him. See, I've sent help, but I did not help. Okay, there's a difference. Now my son is walking across the water to help you. That's who's helping, not me. I'm just standing there watching because I don't get wet. I don't know. It's the hair. The hair gets wet, takes hours to dry, like 3 hours to dry naturally, an hour and 15 minutes to dry under the dryer. Could do it faster, but it burns my scalp. I could turn the heat up and dry the hair faster, but then my scalp starts to peel. Don't want that. Because that's another comedy team, Keenan and Peele, and you don't want that. I'm getting sued. My scalp starts to peel. So you don't do that. So yes, he's saying, I want to stand up. I want to let go. You don't know. Then he says, I want to shine on in the hearts of men. I want a meaning from the back of my hand. Okay. We've established that perhaps he believes that God does not understand his struggle. But he says, I want to shine on in the hearts of men. Okay. I want them to see me as good. I know that I'm not all that good, but I want people to see me that way. So help me be that. He says, I want a meaning from the back of my hand. Okay, now, I want a meaning from the back of my broken hand. Now, there's two things I want to just, and I don't know where he's going with this. I'm going to say, first of all, if he's struggling, he may be just banging his hand against the wall. Okay, and that's why his hand is broken. He's struggling, and he's just banging his hand against the things he's struggling against, banging against the wall, banging it against barriers, so much so that his hand is broken. Okay, but he wants meaning from that. He goes, okay, I understand. My hand's broken, but I need to understand it's broken. Now I need this to mean something. I need this hand to mean, this broken hand, I need it to mean something. Okay, I just don't want it to be broken for nothing. Please let me find some kind of meaning from this suffering, self-inflicted suffering, because he's controlling his hand. He's the one who's doing it. But now he needs to make meaning. He's like, okay, yeah, I did this. Tell me why. Tell me why. And there's also and I don't think he went this deep. This is just me. There's an expression that says, I know this like the back of my hand. Okay. And he's looking for meaning in this from the back of his broken hand. Of course, he doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know it. not like the back of his hand. Like I say, I don't think he went that far. I don't think they go that deep. That sounds more like a me thing than a they thing. So anything, not a they thing. So I'm thinking too much for them. That's okay. The next line, another head aches. Now that's headaches. That's not headaches. It's two words. Another head aches. Another heart breaks. Not single words, headache and heartbreak. It's one headache and heartbreak. So another head aches, another heart breaks. I'm so much older than I can take. All right. Now, I see this because earlier talked about he wants to be a shining light. I believe these headaches and these heartaches are things that he has caused, okay? Things that he's done, and he wants them to be right. And I'll tell you and I say this I'll give you the next two lines, then I'm back up to I'm so much older than I can take. The next lines are, and my affection, well, it comes and goes. I need direction to perfection. No, 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 no. But I'm going to go back to I'm so much older than I can take. Now, basically, when it comes to life, there are two rules. Grow old or die. Those are two basic rules. You grow old or you die. Now, if you're growing old, two things can happen. Well, one thing for certain, if you're growing old, you're experiencing stuff. Okay, now how you experience it is up to you. Is it going to be good, bad? That's okay. I can't answer that for you. I can only tell you there's going to be experiences from growing old. In my case, getting old means getting over life's disappointments. Plain and simple. So he's saying, I'm so much older than I can take. It's like, I don't want to keep living, I guess. That's what he's saying. I don't want to keep living, but the alternative is not very good. But as long as I'm living, I keep hurting people, and I can't take that. I can't take me hurting these people. I can't do it. But the way I am, my nature, I'm going to hurt people as long as I'm alive. It says right here, and my affection, well, it comes and goes. Okay? If you're in a relationship, that's kind of painful to be the other person. It's also painful for you. If your affection comes and goes, your determination comes and goes, you don't know from one moment to the next. See, that's verb. You don't know from one moment to the next. See, what you're going to be feeling. And if you're not feeling attachment, you're causing headaches and heartaches. So he's saying, I don't want that. I'm so much older than I can take. Quote, I need direction to perfection. So he knows he's flawed, but he knows he can't get there by himself. So he says, I need direction to perfection. Help me out here. I don't know what the no is. I need direction to perfection. No. I don't know what that means. Maybe he's not going to get perfection. I don't know. No, I do not know. No. Now, his very next line, okay, talking to God, addressing God, help me out, yeah? You got to help me out, yeah. Oh, don't you put me on the back burner. You got to help me out, yeah. Now, he's saying to God, look, I need your help. Now, it says, don't put me on the back burner. It's like, take care of this now. Because quite often, when people ask God for help, it seems like God's not doing anything. And then there's those people who are of the faith that says, no, it happens in God's time. Okay, that means like it's on the back burner. He'll get to it. Okay, That's what some people say who are of the faith, that God will get to it eventually. And he say, no, don't put it on a back burner. I'm hurting people now. I'm hurting now. Don't do that. Help me stop. Help me help myself from hurting people. Help me help myself from not hurting people. No, help me. Don't put me on the back burner. And this goes back to where he says, you don't know. You don't know, because if you knew, you wouldn't put me on the back burner. If you knew my pain, you'd understand I'm hurting now. Don't put me on the back burner. This is more of a desperate attempt to get God's attention and say, hey, now, I need it now. No, not later. Later could be too late. So he says, we don't know. Let's wait till we get to the end of the song, see if he's still around. Because now he's going back to the original lines that gave me such a headache. Okay. And when there's nowhere else to run, is there room for one more son? Okay. Now, I'm not convinced that that one more son is a reference to Jesus, because I guess Jesus would be like Jello and there's always room for one more. I'm assuming. I can't imagine that Jello is better than Jesus, although they both start with J and have 5 letters. You know, that's not better. That's just scale. You know, they have the same number of letters. They both start with J, and there should both be room for, you know, they're equal. Jesus equals Jello is what I'm saying. I don't know. That wasn't in the script. I'm trying to work that out in my head right now. I'm trying to do the math to see if Jello and Jesus are the same. Now I gotta get the weight. I had to get the atomic weight of those letters to see. Never mind. Again, he may not be going there. Okay, but the next lines after, is there room for one more son? These changes ain't changing me. Okay, the cold-hearted boy I used to be. So, and when there's nowhere else to run, he's back to being cornered. He's back to being cornered, and he needs the help. So, is there room for one more son? I'm guessing that he's like alone. He's cornered, and he doesn't want to be cornered alone. Maybe somebody can join him there. And if it's the son, if it's Jesus, sure. You know, just somebody, so I'm not alone, so I'm not trapped by myself. Somebody come help me. Okay. Now it says these changes aren't changing me. So the person that he was, and this goes just like the verb, it's like the person that he was, the person that is deep down inside hasn't changed. Even though life itself is full of changes and he encounters all these things, he hasn't changed. His affection is still come and go. He hasn't changed, but he wants to change. So saying, God, help me now. I really want to change. Now, does he believe he can change? That's another question. Does he believe that even if God says, here's the means by which you can change, does he believe that he can change? The next line goes, yeah, you know, you got to help me out. Oh, don't you put me on the back burner. See, now he's getting kind of cocky. It's like, oh, you got to help me out. You don't put me on the back burner. You know you got to help me out. Yeah. Now, here's the next 3 lines, the same line over and over again. You're going to bring yourself down. Yeah. You're going to bring yourself down. Yeah. You're going to bring yourself down. I referenced this earlier when he talked about God not knowing him or his struggle. See, in order for God to help him, and no, he has to come down. If God is going to help, God is going to have to come down. He's going to have to get his feet wet. Okay. If you're drowning, you're going to get wet. Yeah. Oh, you can throw a rope. Sure. Throw a rope. Guess what? Pulling that rope in, you're going to get wet. Even if it's just your hands, you're going to get wet. and there's going to be dirt on the rope. You're going to get a little dirty. You're going to get a little, no matter what that situation is, you're going to get some. And then once they get there, what, you're going to reach down and pull them up, you're going to get wet. And he's saying, you got to get involved. You can't just stand back there and help me. That's not helping me standing back there. And he's not saying send help. He's saying help me. Don't send help, help me. Now, of course, what people don't understand is that that is not exactly how God works. God does not do anything directly. Okay? Can't. Incapable of it. Not possible. I mean, back in Jacob's ladder tells you back then about the angels coming back and forth to intercede. Okay? That's God's workers, God's worker bees. It's like the queen in a bee's nest. The queen does not leave the nest to do anything. The queen sends out the bees, and the bees come back and says, "Oh, queen, you're so glorious, we're going to feed you. Oh, queen, you're so glorious, we're going to impregnate you so you can make more bees." It's like, "Oh, queen, you're so glorious, we're going to defend the nest with our lives." You don't do anything. And he's saying, get your ass out the hive and help me. I need some honey. Help me. Don't just send your worker bees. I want you to help me. Now, that's where some of the problems come in live, because some people literally refuse help unless they think it's coming from God themselves. God itself, himself, herself, they self, self-serve. And it's like, no, don't you help me. I want God to help me. No. It's like the old joke. Where there's a man, his boat is overturned. He's drowning in the river, and the rapids are moving along, and he's drowning, and he's losing his breath, and a branch falls. And when the guy is praying to God, "Help me, God, help me, help me." And he sees a bear. The bear gets on the tree falls into the water, and instead of the guy grabbing the branch, he just floats on by, struggling, and says, "God, help me, God, help me." It's like, oh, there was a tree right there. Okay. And then some people go by with the boat, and they say, "We can help you." It's like, "Oh, I'm waiting on God to help me," you know. And when the guy dies, he says, "God, why did you help me?" He says, "Look, I sent the tree, I sent the boat. What the fuck else do you want? I can't get wet. My hair. It takes hours to dry."
Praise the Lord.
That's right. So now, so he's saying, in order for you to help me, you've got to come down here so you can see my situation. You got to come down here so you can understand my situation. And that's the difference between sending help and helping. Okay. Now here's the refrain. Okay. And he says this 10 times. 10 times he says, "I got soul, but I'm not a soldier." Okay. 10 times he says that. "I got soul, but I'm not a soldier." 10 times. Now, biblically, 10 times is like a number of completion, numerology, stuff like that. I'm not going to get into numerology. He could have just said it 10 times. I don't know why he said it 10 times. But in numerology, that's a number of completion. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. The point is, he really liked that line, and he thought it was really cute and clever. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. Now, I'm going to break it down as such. I got soul. I'm super bad. I got soul. Huh. Yeah. Now I'm super bad. I don't think that's what he meant. I don't think he meant I'm James Brown. I think he meant I got soul, like I'm a breathing human being. I have essence. I have a soul. The thing is that I'm not a soldier. Okay. There's two ways of looking, or probably more than two ways. I'm going to take two different approaches. One is that quite often Christians consider themselves soldiers for their cause. Soldiers for Christ, soldiers for God, soldiers for their religion, soldiers for their faith. And if that's the case, he's saying, I'm not a soldier. I'm not going to fight I'm not going to kill for you. No, I got a soul, I believe, but I'm not going to kill for you. Okay. But then there's the other meaning. Okay. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. Soldiers have to conform. So he's saying, I got soul, but I'm not ready to conform. I can't conform. I'm not going to conform. So those are the two ways, and I'm not sure which way he's saying it, or both. I'll let you determine that. But the next line seems to come out of nowhere. He follows that with the 3 words, time, truth, and hearts. That's it. He says time, truth, and hearts. Now, of course, 3 words, people say, well, that's a Trinity. Okay, and they go, okay, well, time, truth, and heart. So, yeah, okay, well, and if that's the case, time is that Father, Holy Spirit, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, the Holy Spirit would be hearts, the Son would be truth, and God would be time. Okay, now we're going back. I'm going to bring this back because this is what drove me fucking crazy to begin with. When is time? Okay, there's nowhere else to run. Will be the truth. He's cornered. That's his truth. That's his time. And is there room for one more? Heart, mercy. I guess. I don't know. He thinks like that. I don't know. But for him to just blurt out 3 words, time, truth, and hearts, and that's it, nothing else. So I'm plugging it in and back to here because this also didn't make sense. Having the when in front of there's nowhere else to run. He could have said where, he could have said when. Why there's nowhere else to run, I don't know. But when and where, those are 2 words that, when versus where. When is time. And so later in the song, he goes time, truth, and hearts. So now that expression may take on different meaning. It just took a while to get there. Next he says, why, thank you, Ann, thank you. Ann says, a great sermon.
Amen.
Thank you, Ann. That's right, fuck yeah. Okay. Now, the next lines, you got to help me out. Yeah, is that the next line? Let me sure I got the right place. Yes. You got to help me out. Yeah. Oh, don't you put me on the back burner. You got to help me out. Yeah. You're going to bring yourself down. You're going to bring yourself down. Yeah. You're going to bring yourself down. Yeah. Oh, don't you put me on the back burner. You're going to bring yourself down. Yeah. You're going to bring yourself down. Yeah. Okay. Same. That's just, we kind of covered that already, where it says, I need your help. Don't put me on the back burner. I need your help now. Help me now. Okay. Don't put me on the back burner. I need your help now. Later could be too late. Help me now. Okay. But the next verse, and this is, and I know I'm going long, but there were a lot of dead people this week. And the song, there's a lot for me to discuss here. So I'm going a little long, and if you got to go, I accept that. I hate when preachers go long. I can't stand it myself. All right. The next line says, over and in, last call for sin. While everyone's lost, the battle is won with all these things that I've done. All right. Now, over and in, that's kind of a funny expression. Okay. Now, I don't know if he did it, but it says, but the expression over and out, okay, which is what this is like a twist of, over and out. Over and out is radio talk. When you're talking, when the radio, 2 people cannot talk at the same time. Okay. So they have words that they say to let you know when one is talking and when it's done. All right. So for example, it's when it says, Dr. Rev. Jelly Roll, my location is the Church of Last Resort. Over, Roger. Okay. Over means that is the end of my sentence. Roger means I'm waiting for a return message. Roger, so you're coming back. I'm waiting for you to say something back to me. Over, Roger. Okay. There's also over and out. Now, over and out means I'm done. That's the end of my sentence, and I'm not listening anymore. Okay. Over, Roger is I'm done and I'm listening. Okay. Now, instead of over and out, he goes over and in. So I'm taking that to be he's still engaged, over and in. I'm done talking, but I'm in. I'm still in this. I'm in this mess. I'm listening. I'm waiting for help. I'm still engaged. Whatever it is, I'm in it. Okay. And then it goes, all these things that I have done, time, truth, and hearts. It repeats that. Again, no real explanation, just time, truth, and hearts, which is why, because of how out of place that is, I attach it to the first sentence, which to me is so out of place. And he says, if you can hold on, hold on. Okay. If you can hold on, if you can hold on. Okay. Now that is the end of the song. If you can hold on, if you can hold on. Again, is he saying, God, if you can hold on to me, please do? Or is this a word of encouragement to someone else who's listening? If you can hold on, hold on. If you can wait, wait. That's the end of that song. Okay, that concludes it. I hope that it. That is the last looking for God of all the looking for God in all the wrong places of 2025. I hope that this one and the other ones may either were, if not entertaining and not enlightening, at least they weren't a waste of your time. I'm hoping, at minimum, it's not a waste of your time, and at most, you got something out of it. And please, if you got different interpretations, let me know, because I am not infallible. I am just good looking. That doesn't mean I'm perfect. It just means I'm nice to look at. So,
Fucking liars!
So, before I close, I want to encourage people to listen to G.D. Fenderson's podcast with Alan Katz, the legendary Alan Katz. It's called What Makes Us Laugh, and it's on Spotify and almost anywhere else that you get your podcast. It's like everywhere. So I think there's like 8 episodes. So there's enough for you to start binge listening. So it's a podcast. So check it out. And if you need to rent a comedian for an event, go to gigsalad.com/GD Fenderson. He is available, and he can be very funny if the money's right. I want to thank those of you who have subscribed to my fledgling YouTube channel. Membership has kind of frozen, so if you're listening but you have not joined, subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. If you're out there listening, and if you're listening on Instagram, or if you're listening on Kick, or if you're listening on wherever else you're listening, that's fine. I appreciate that. But can you please go to YouTube and Facebook and subscribe? And that way, if anything new happens, you'll find out. Or any posts or stuff like that. And it helps the algorithm, shit like that. So on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Amona Roll, my kids Cinnamon and Jelly Jr. Roll, our cat Tootsie Roll, and our dog Stop Dropping Roll, I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox Time on Mind Dog TV and everywhere that our word is heard. So please, brothers and sisters, in the name of George Collin, Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Thank you. Have a good new year. Good new year. Go in peace, and we'll see you in January.